Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fizzcast. I'm your host, Fizzik, and how's it going for you today? It's pretty well here. I mean, the leaves are changing into very pretty colors, and driving down some highways, you get, views for 20 miles, so you can just see all the beautiful colors, and it's very, very nice. The clouds this morning were pretty cool, and the weather today was absolutely gorgeous. So it's definitely one of the first Mondays I've been happy for in a while. Anyway, yes. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that anything that I can do to make it better makes it better. Alright, so today, I'm got a request at long last, and today I'm going to be talking about privacy. And I suppose why it's important, and I suppose the lengths to which it is important, or the lengths to which it is non-detrimental. I guess that's a decent way of putting it. Privacy. It's weird, because it's very dependent on a person. Sometimes, people like to keep their favorite food secret. Or something like that, and it's just something I personally can't understand it. I mean, that might not be the best example, but, you get the idea. Like keeping their favorite food secret or, favorite color, favorite game, whatever it is. Maybe their least favorite of anything. And of course, the subject that it is, that is favorite or least favorite varies too, because it's like, if it's your least favorite food, fine, go ahead, I don't care. If it's your least favorite person, yeah, that's probably a pretty good secret to keep. It's probably something you want to be private about. Of course, there are times where you don't want to be private about it, because when you trust some people, you don't need to uphold such privacy as invaluable. You can just kind of trust that they'll keep it secret as well, or that they'll respect your privacy and understand that you don't want them to know. I don't know, privacy is hard to maintain, I think. Especially for me, I grew up in a house with a lot of people, and it's very difficult to just kind of sit there and relax about, not really relax, because I could do that all the time, but relax in knowing that what you're doing at this moment won't be discovered by anyone else. And of course, that's not to say I constantly do shady activities and stuff, but there's obviously things I would like to keep a secret, or that I'd like to keep to myself. Certain games that I play that certainly wouldn't be acceptable by my parental standards, or I really don't know. I don't know what to say. And generally just games, videos. I guess videos a lot, music, especially words in music. When I drew, I never ever wanted anyone to see anything I drew, because I don't know, not very good with it. This podcast is especially something that I'd like to keep a secret. That actually is a really good segue into what I wanted to say. But before I say that, I would like to note, this is the 30th episode. This is the 30th episode of the Fizzcast. And I thank anyone who's listening right now for joining me for this particular episode. I completely forgot that it was such a momentous occasion. I remember recording 20 and celebrating it, all those months ago. But yes, very cool thing happening now. I'll try and do what I can, but at least I've come up with 30 different ideas. And this 30th one is not actually my idea, so very cool. Anyway, alright, cool. 30th episode out of the way. A good segue into why I like to keep this sort of thing a secret. It's weird, because there's a very select few people that I've enjoyed their feedback on, I guess. A very select few people that how do I phrase this? Pretty much everyone that I knew in real life, or internet friends or whatever, anyone that I was readily available to talk to at any point in time. I requested that they don't let me know that they watch this, because it kind of feels trapping a little bit. It kind of feels like it kind of feels like sometimes I can't say certain things because I wouldn't say it to them in real life, or I wouldn't talk to them like this I wouldn't tell them as a person. But since I'm kind of just doing this for the general public or for a general audience, then it's a much different story than than it would be if I was thinking of someone while doing the recording. And I think it's understandable. I've definitely been a little, it's been a little hesitant in the sense of people do want to tell me how I do. They want to tell me that it's good, or they want to tell me what I did wrong, or, what I should say. Not what I should say, but like topics for the future, like future things that I should say, talk about, etc. Which, all of those I'm acceptant and open to. But it just feels like it's not the feedback that gets me. It's what I imagine they'll feel when I say it in the first place that gets me. I am very interested. I'm very strange in the sense that I'm kind of trapped in my own head. I'm more afraid of the things in my imagination than I am in reality, usually. And so stuff like that, where I just want to keep it private in any way, shape, or form, even though it's a public thing. It's a public manner, and a lot of people that I don't know could be watching this. But I still prefer to keep it to myself. I still prefer to say my own ideas without any inhibitants. And I guess that's just because I hold back a lot. I hold back a lot of the things I say for the risk of being rude or for the risk of being, condescending, especially. Because when I'm calm, generally I sound extremely condescending, and it makes me very sad because everyone gets really frustrated with me. But, yeah. To anyone that I've done that with, I apologize. Anyway, I try and keep it private the best I can because I just want to be confident that I'm the one judging this, or that I know what I want. And I feel like that's a very good principle to go off of when it comes to privacy or something that you keep to yourself. Whether it is art, or it is music, or it is poetry, or, anything really. Future plans, college attendance, your fashion sense, your makeup style, whatever it is you want to do. And if you want to keep it to yourself, that's okay. However, there is a point where you can ask for feedback, or you can ask for help, or you can ask for, or you can try and spread your talents around and have fun with it. Because there's a difference between privacy and isolation. And the line between them is very fine. Because isolation is unhealthy, but privacy is supposed to be respected. Isolation is where, you retreat entirely. You close off and you make sure that nobody ever sees anything that you do. And I feel like that's not very good for the purpose of, like developing a talent or developing anything. Because then you've only got yourself to like judge. And that could be a good thing. You could see where you think you need to improve, and then from there, just spiral upwards and outwards in order to improve your talents. However, there is two scenarios where that isn't healthy. Where, one, you are either extremely hard on yourself, which pretty much everyone is. You're either extremely hard on yourself and you think that everything you're doing is wrong, so it constantly leads you to rethink your abilities, or rethink your methods, or rethink anything, even if your art or your craft is extremely good by comparison to anything else. Or you are massively egotistical and you believe that yours is the only thing that should exist. Yours is the only way, that everyone should imitate you, and you're just waiting to create the perfect thing in order to spread it. And I don't know how good either of those are. I wouldn't like to think that they are the ideal circumstances, but they are definitely unavoidable sometimes. There are occasions. I'm sorry if my mic just peaked twice. I might have to cut that out. I apologize. Anyway, there are certain scenarios where you want to keep things to yourself. There are other scenarios where you want to branch out and ask others their opinion. I would highly recommend that with those who are creative or pursuing a creative passion. I would recommend going to others that you know, or others that you respect their opinion, and ask them to tell you how it is. If more often than not, it'll probably be positive. And if it's not positive, then you know what to fix. But the most you have to lose is nothing. I mean, you just move on and find something else. Don't really, kind of, sort of know how I got there from privacy, but yeah. Anyway, I apologize for those 2 points where the mic absolutely blew up. I will have to find out what that is. And thank you for joining me on this 30th episode of the Fizzcast. Thank you to CJ for the idea, and I appreciate everything that all of you do for me. Remember to tell someone if you liked it so that they can like it too, maybe. And if they don't like it, very cool. It's not for them. They enjoy a lot of things, I'm sure. Anyway, yes, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of the Fizzcast. I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.